Hey everyone, this is Charlie at The Resonance, back with another cryptocurrency video and back with another altcoin gem. And today we are going to be talking about Wilder World, okay? Token Wild, project Wilder World. And this is a really interesting project. I'm probably going to say that about most projects that I share. I'm only interested in the interesting projects, but this is something that I'm really optimistic and really excited about. I'm definitely bullish on this. So, given that I have in my previous videos stated that I'm going to be looking at more metaverse, gaming, NFT based projects because that's where I think the real push is going to be, or I feel like these are going to be at the forefront of what really brings in the retail or the new retail investors in the future. And also this is what's going to be at the forefront in terms of adoption of DAOs, otherwise known as decentralized autonomous organizations, something that I'm going to be explaining in this video. But the way that blockchain and NFTs are being able to integrate with each other, bring in gaming aspects and create new realities such as metaverses is going to change everything really and truly. So Wilder World is another NFT platform, but it's not just focused on NFTs, okay? So Wilder World is it's an immersive 5D universe or a metaverse which is powered entirely by NFTs. And the people behind this, the team behind this project, their philosophy is plain and simple, okay? So they are and are trying to, and they are in doing so at the moment, attracting the world's best 3D digital art talents, okay, and leveraging these artists and their skills and their talents and what they have to contribute. They are birthing the world's rarest content into existence, into life, okay, into an immersive experience, an immersive universe that people can come and engage with. That is what a metaverse is. So the difference between a metaverse and a game is that we've all played games in some way, shape or form, and usually you have a beginning and at some point there is an end, or the game kind of becomes a little bit mundane because there isn't anything new, right? So games, in a sense, games do have some degree of limitations, but a metaverse is a world, it's a universe, it's a life, right? Universe is infinite, so a continuous contribution of creations to a metaverse allows it to be new, allows it to be never ending, and this is the difference between the two, okay? So in a metaverse you have a world, you have a universe. So the Wilder World vision is, as I've just stated, but what they're trying to do essentially is they're trying to build out the next version of a decentralized Marvel Studios, okay, bringing the world's top artists together to collaborate on stories, characters, landscapes, environments, you name it, right? And then they're going to do that and then build a metaverse that is basically going to be able to again be accessed and engaged with and experienced by everyone, okay? And in this collaboration method, they're going to be able to, they're very ambitious, they're a very ambitious team, and with this collaboration they're going to be able to create a metaverse that is far more ambitious than just one single artist trying to create something like this on their own, right? And I think that maybe we don't know, but we're going to know that NFTs and virtual reality is on a real collision course. Trust me, like this is it, people. Like this is the next big thing, and it can be very difficult to fathom how big this is going to be and where this is going to go. But I can already see it. I already know it, and a lot of people already do. And this is why so much money is being pumped into these projects, being invested into these projects, and especially money from those who have already been and already are very successful in this space. And that's something that we're going to get into later on in this video. So the NFT revolution is here to stay, okay, and it's only going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. In-game purchases are set to reach $200 billion plus by 2025, okay? And the amount of people that are coming into cryptocurrency, the amount of people that are coming into these technologies, these projects, is increasing by 113% every single year. So there is no stopping this. Technology is a one-way street, Okay, now everything they're building in Wilder World is going to be game ready. Okay, and it will be able to be experienced both in augmented and virtual reality, and this will just be throughout the entire metaverse. So that's a little bit about the project. Okay, and we want to just get into what it is in terms of the design of this project itself. So it's decentralized. Okay, this is a decentralized project, which is very, very important moving forward. Okay, and because of that, it's community owned and it's community focused, right? And it's for those that don't know, a DAO, which is a DAO, okay, stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. Okay, and what it is, it's essentially a coordination system for creators and businesses in this, what you would call, say, the digital age, right? So unlike a traditional corporation, a DAO is governed by its members, right? So a centralized corporation, you have the CEO, the owner, and the governance comes from that aspect or that component of the business model, right? But a DAO is governed by all of its members, okay, using rules, preset rules that are encoded into computer programs, otherwise known as smart contracts. And then basically it's all laid out transparently on a blockchain ledger, okay? Now, to simplify this even more, a decentralized autonomous organization is decentralized because it uses a shared blockchain network that then distributes all of its computing power. So there's never any one person, one entity, or one authority that has entire power over the whole system. It's distributed to everybody. So everybody owns their own share, if you like. All of the participants have a share to some degree. And this is what creates a decentralized platform. So in terms of making decisions, there's votes, and in blockchain and crypto, majority always wins. Okay, so I trust that makes sense. Now, what they've done here is they've created basically a metaverse where, as we can see here, interactive in-world creations by leading artists in the digital art and NFT space, and this is called the Guild. So what you have is you have digital creators alike from all over the world being able to come and contribute and showcase what it is that they have in terms of their talent and their skills, and create it inside of this metaverse for then the user or whoever wants to create an avatar and then play or do whatever in this metaverse. You will be able, everything that you're going to interact with has been to some degree created by one of these digital content creators. Now, they get rewarded because it's decentralized. So they've created a liquid NFT marketplace which allows the artists and the contributors to basically buy, mint, sell, trade all of the NFTs, and all of the royalties go directly to the creators or the artists. Okay, and this is what blockchain is all about. This is what NFT is all about. It's about rewarding the creator directly without any middleman, any third party, any central authority, anybody trying to take their piece of the pie, So I trust you're with me. I trust this makes sense. The more videos that you watch that I'm going to be sharing, the more it will. Okay, so this isn't a finished project. Okay, this isn't a finished product, rather. And I do prefer to invest in things that are finished, or at least have a semi-product which you can engage with and interact with and test it if you like. But I feel like this one's too good to even, let slip, or wait for. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to go buying it now, because we are on the horizon of a bear market, and this is probably going to come down by, I would imagine, a decent amount. But even with that said, dollar cost averaging, it might be good to buy some now and just keep buying at all price points to protect yourself, but that's not financial advice. But on the point of this project, it's what they're trying to do here is amazing. They've got some really realistic graphics, leveraging some really cool technologies. They've got some really cool people involved in this. I was on a Ask Me Anything, an AMA conversation with the people that are creating this project, with some really interesting people in the chat. Everything that was laid out was very simple, very clear, and I just really like the way that they explain things, and they're ambitious. They're very ambitious. This is an ambitious project, but with the help and with the people that are getting involved, it sounds like this could be something that they're going to pull off. We'll see. But you know, we're early here. Remember that we're early, so there's always a risk with any investment. Wilder World is fully owned and governed by its own community, as I mentioned, decentralized, community focused, community based. So their token Wild is at the core of that. Okay, the Wild token is the governance token. They've integrated it with various decentralized finance models, which incentivizes liquidity. You can earn yield on holding Wild. You can stake it. Staking is locking up your tokens into a protocol and then receiving an interest per year, which is an APY. So they got some really cool things going on here. Some really cool things. But what impressed me most, okay, this is what impressed me most, is the partnerships with the people who are backing this, who are investing in this, who are advising this, and that is what really caught my eye. Okay, so they've got partnerships with, well, the main partnership that caught my eye was with Animoca Brands. Okay, now if anybody knows who Animoca Brands are, okay, so Animoca Brands are a global developer which leverage popular brands. Basically, yeah, the global leader in branded blockchain gaming. And when you look at their investment portfolio, as we'll go on to here, okay, and you look at blockchain gaming, I mean, follow the money, right? We've got Axie Infinity, okay, D-Race, Decentraland, Chain Guardians, My DeFi Pet, Rev, Star Atlas. Okay, there's a lot here. Some of them I haven't heard of, but a lot of people have been familiar with these. Now, I was in a conversation recently with someone I'm in a group that I'm in. I was observing a conversation rather, and they were talking about how they've been keeping hawk eyes on Animoca Brands, because it seems like everywhere that they get involved or everything that they back or invest in, the project always does very, very well. And you can just imagine the research that these people do, right? The insight that they have, rather, to know what is going to be successful and where that, you know, where they should be putting their money. So the sandbox too. So Animoca Brands are backing this. They're invested in this. This is big. You know, this is an early project, but this could be very, very big. So, yeah, this is one to keep an eye on, people, for sure. It is early. The current token price is $1.76. The market cap is 132 million, so it's still pretty low. Fully diluted valuation is it's pretty high at the moment, but I would imagine that is going to come down when the price comes down. I would imagine we're in a downtrend. But that's normal at the moment with uncertainty. All-time high, $3.10. So we're just over halfway from there. And yeah, this is a really interesting project. Again, this is where you can buy it at the moment. But I'm just really impressed with this. You know, it's nice to have something that is a finished product, but when the fundamentals are so strong in terms of the setup, the decentralization, the token distribution, the way that they're rewarding the contributors and the creators for getting involved, the technologies that they're leveraging, the people that they have involved, the investors, the advisors, and so on, it looks promising. It really does, and this is definitely one to keep an eye on. Sorry, one last collaboration they have is with Zero Space. Okay, now Zero Space is what basically is a previous creation of theirs, I believe, and what they've done is they've taken the framework from the previous creation, which is like an immersive kind of like world, but now they're bringing it on chain and then using NFTs to power the entire thing. So essentially the whole space is basically enabling multi-leveled, photorealistic, you saw the graphics, looks pretty cool, photorealistic and mixed reality worlds where wilders, which are the avatars, roam freely, acquire virtual land, and express themselves through unique avatars, okay, decorative assets and fashionable accessories. The list goes on. And yeah, being fully owned and governed by its community, creators, players and fans alike are enabled to participate via the Wilder DAO on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, we all know that Ethereum can be extremely expensive and it is pricing out the average investor, especially if you only have a small portfolio. And even if you don't, it's still extremely expensive in my eyes. $20, $30, $40 per transaction is ridiculous. I'm not bullish on Ethereum long term unless they get that sorted. But that's why we have layer 2 scaling solutions, okay? So Ethereum being a layer 1 has many benefits, but given its disadvantages at the moment, a layer 2 scaling solution is something that can come alongside Ethereum and act as the middleman between projects such as this. And one of those that this is has a partnership with is Immutable-X. Now, Immutable-X is basically one of the leading NFT, or the first layer 2 scaling solution for NFTs on Ethereum. So this is making transactions cheaper, faster, interaction more scalable, and also allows very, very, very low gas fees. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this one. Promising. You just got to look at what's going on here, check out their Twitter, jump in their Discord, which is really useful. A lot of information in there. We're still very, very early. Again, this isn't even a finished product, nowhere near. So it'd be interesting to see how this one does. But during the bear cycle over the next year or so, I'll be keeping an eye on this, and I'll probably will be look to accumulate this one. There's a couple that I've missed out on, which is normal, which is natural. You can't catch them all. You know, this isn't Pokemon. One of the ones that I did miss out on, which is doing really, really well, or has done really well, is one called Alluvium. Okay, and Alluvium, if I can bring that up. Yeah, so Alluvium is an open world role-playing game which utilizes Ethereum 2, and it's basically like a game where you capture godlike creatures. They're called like alluvials, and then you just basically get to explore like a huge and varied landscape. It's like an RPG setting, but this is done really, really well. And Alluvium is also another partnership that Wild have just got as well, which is another promising partnership. There's too many partnerships with really successful, really interesting projects, people, places. It's too good to ignore. Let me just say that. So I trust this makes sense. I trust this has been of value. Continue to learn, continue to show up, keep learning, keep studying, and it will make sense if it doesn't now. Any questions, feel free to comment. Thank you for watching and listening. Thank you for being present. Please please subscribe to the channel. It helps me continue, push out more content, share more assets with you. And yeah, we're building up a pretty good list. So yeah, that's it from me, Charlie at the Resonance, and shall see you next time. Wilder World.